So my journey started in pediatric in year 2000, and till 2004 I just thought about CP. And 2004 when I visited Great Ormond Street Hospital, London, that's when a new dimension, whole world opened up for me, and I got to know about pediatric dermatology, pediatric hematology. That's where the physios are specialized in, and I was posted in pediatric rheumatology. From there my journey here started. So it makes a very important partnership. It's like a cricket team, professionals, multidisciplinary team working together, and pediatric physiotherapist plays a very important, crucial role in this pediatric rheumatology. So to make it simplified, I have divided my role into assessment and therapeutic. That is how I contribute into pediatric rheumatology clinic. So I help rheumatologists to assess the child, what is their level of disease, like by giving them objective scales like JDM, CMAS or MMT8. I'll just show you the scales. Because of time constraint, I won't be able to get into detail of it. Then even the physical examination is equally important, like muscle strength, their joint range of motion, posture, checking the LLD, and then gait. And in therapeutic, I have again, to simplify it, I have divided into inflammatory and non-inflammatory conditions. So in inflammatory conditions, we have to treat the sequelae as well. So I have done is I have taken two conditions in inflammatory conditions, before and after physiotherapy, and two non-inflammatory conditions, just to give you the idea, the gist of it, what exactly how important physiotherapy is in pediatric rheumatology. The pain amplification syndrome and CRPS, I have marked it red because that's where physiotherapy plays the major role. So I'll just show you the assessment scales. These are few scales which I use, and they are really important for pediatric rheumatologists to know the disease level activity. On your left it is CMAS, and then there is MMT8, and there is a link given. You can go online and download the forms. So now I'll go to the treatment of inflammatory conditions. So before I start this, it's very important that you start as early as possible so that you can prevent the contractures and deformities in a child. So early treatment is very important in these kids. And if at all, unfortunately, the kid comes to me very late. So this is a child who came to me at the age of 4 years. If you see, this is the flexion muscle. So he came to me at the age of 4 years, and as you can see, this is the available range of motion at his knees. So it's almost 80 degrees away from final extension. Luckily his hips and ankles were intact. They were complete free range of motion at hip and ankle. And his treatment was going on with pediatric rheumatologist for his disease. And that's him after 4 months of physiotherapy. And his disease was very well controlled with rheumatologist medication. And that's him after a year with physiotherapy and medication. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is another child with juvenile dermatomyositis. She came to me at the age of 9 years, 10 months. She came to me post-lockdown in September 2020, and that's her range of motion. She's 80 degrees away from her final extension, and she was not able to walk. So this is another assessment of hers. So this is how she was walking. Literally on toes and taking weight. So practically she was not walking, just taking weight, and 2-3 steps she would take, and she's 80 degrees away. So for this child I decided to go another approach because she was from Gujarat and I was sitting in Maharashtra, South Mumbai. So I decided to go for serial casting. So the child was sedated, and then I did myofascial release, sustain, stretch and cast. And I sent her away to Gujarat again, and that's her standing posture, and I sent with good exercise protocol which they had to continue at home. So after 3 weeks, the plaster cast was removed, and then the physiotherapy was started, and when she came to me after 3 months, she started running and she was walking with near normal gait and normal posture. This is in December 2020. Thank you so much. So these two kids which I have shown you right now, they are both the kids were during lockdown time, and I have treated them online along with parents' help. And I have an ongoing project called Telephysio, so I am treating JI kids online as well. So just to mention this here. Now I would like to go to non-inflammatory conditions. This is where physiotherapy plays a major role after their diagnosis is done with rheumatologist. Physiotherapist treats the patient jointly, need-based with psychologist as well. So there is a thorough assessment is done with the patient, so that gives very clear idea about what is the history, what is the trigger point. After evaluation, we have to reassure the child and family both. Of course, family education is equally important, and if it is CRPS or pain amplification, we all know desensitization, exercises, functional activities, and prevention of further such episodes. So I'm going to share two unusual, very interesting cases of mine. So this is a child who was 14-year-old and who came to me with tremors in his hands. This is the first time in all these years I have seen something like this. He went to neurologist first and to rule out everything, MRI, you name it, and they did all possible investigations and everything came normal. So he was referred to a pediatric rheumatologist, and from there he stopped all his medications, investigations, and he was referred only for physiotherapy. And this is after his one session. He is able to keep his hand steady at least for a short period of time, and this is the first time he picked up the pain after 2 months and he started writing. And after a week's physiotherapy, he appeared for his written test as well. Now I'll show you another very interesting case called complex regional pain syndrome. This child is a resident of Boston and he came to me after 6 months. So he stopped walking 6 months back. Meantime, he gained weight around, he was 94 kilos when he came to me with 6 feet 3 inches tall, sitting in a wheelchair, unable to walk, and you name it, and he had tried all possible things from Kerala Ayurvedic massage to German matrix and all possible, going on Google and searching for physios and taking the treatment. So his all physiotherapy, medications were stopped and his physiotherapy was started. He started coming to me on daily basis. So this is him after 1 week. I could get him at the end of 1 week, just, for a short period of time, I managed to get him out of the wheelchair with wide base of support. He's struggling a lot, very bad gait, I know. And his lower limbs are in acute external rotation. So in week 2, Week 2, I managed to get rid of his crutches. His narrow, base of support is improved considerably, but still there is acute external rotation and he is walking with lateral swaying and he needs a unilateral support from his caretaker. At the end of week 3, he is walking comfortably without any support, but there is lateral swaying and still the external rotation at lower limbs continues. And week 4, I got all the corrections. He's walking with near normal gait. Thank you so much.
मैम यहाँ तो मेरे ख्याल से स्टैंडिंग ओवेशन होना चाहिए।
Thank you so much. Thank you.
इस तरह का काम या इस तरह से फिजियोथेरेपी साइंस में ये चीज़ें हम देख रहे हैं और वो भी विद फुल प्रूफ। सो मतलब ये अंदर से इतना बूस्ट कर रहा है। एंड फॉर न्यू कमर्स एंड जिन्होंने अभी ज्वाइन किया है फिजियोथेरेपी या जो 2nd 3rd ईयर में है, आप सोचिए इससे आगे आपको करना है। सो यू हैव टू बी वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग एंड वेरी गुड इन योर थेरेप्यूटिक एज वेल एज योर एकेडमिक पार्ट। ठीक है, तो इस तरह से केसेस देखना और इसको समझना और इसका फ़ायदा उठाना बहुत ज़रूरी है। थैंक यू सो मच मैम, यू हैव गिवन अस सच अ वेरी गुड परफॉर्मेंस। थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you so much. So at week 4, still there were few goals were left. That was he was able to stand in one place for not more than few seconds. He could stand in one place for 4 or 5 seconds and he was not able to run. So that was my goal for week 5. And then I achieved that in week 5. I hope I can go ahead. Can I continue for one or
Yes,
two
yes,
minutes
yes,
more?
yes. Please, please.
Thank you.
Please.
So week 5, I managed to achieve all the goals and I sent him back to Boston. And this was in year October 2015. I'm still in touch with the family. And he never got any relapse after that, no episodes. He's studying in Stanford University.
Great.
And a handsome young man he is now.
Great.
So basically my take, I would like to introduce you all. It's not just pediatric, it's not just CP and neurology, but there are new subspecialties are emerging like cardiorespiratory. Then there is a musculoskeletal branch where orthopedics and rheumatology overlap a lot with each other. I'm looking forward to any kind of collaboration. You can visit my website and you can get in touch with us if you want to learn. I'm more than happy because I had only 10 minutes, so this is what I could have shown you. So, the patient is like a driver traveling in a bus, and then the multidisciplinary team which is sitting and directing him, and the physiotherapy is like a wheel which is taking the patient from one place to another. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You proved it.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such a remarkable session. It was so inspiring to see you there, doing all what you have been doing. And it clearly deserved a standing ovation, which we all gave. Thank you so much. I would now like to request Dr. Shailesh to kindly felicitate ma'am. She really deserves a huge round of applause. Dr. Tripti, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Tripti.